Welcome to the practical demonstration on map symbolization layouting. In this exercise, we are going to symbolize geographic data, create maps using custom attribute scales, create group layers and save the layer files, and you are going to learn how to create map layouts. And finally, we are going to learn how to create a 3D visualization using ArcGIS software. In this part, initially we are going to learn how to symbolize geographic data and how to create maps using custom attribute scales. I hope you have access to the data and you watched the introduction lecture on map symbolization layouting. As we discussed, we can symbolize geographic data under two broad categories. One is discrete symbolization, another one is a continuous symbolization. So I'm going to explain the concept again through a practical demonstration using ArcGIS software. If you are opening any spatial data or geographic data in your ArcGIS, you can see the system automatically symbolize as unique values, which means all your data, whether it is a state or district or whatever the unit you have, then will be symbolized with the same color. But I want to differentiate this based on some attributes. Of course, you can do it. Instead of single symbol, then you can use other attributes to symbolize it. Say for example, on the basis of name of these states I want to symbolize, just go to categories, click unique fields and select name and add all values, and it will automatically symbolize based on all your state names. I want to change the color. There is a color ramp where you can change it. So accordingly, your symbol colors will change. I want to assign my preference for particular state. I want to give particular color. Yeah, of course you can modify whatever you want. You can see. So like you can symbolize very easily with the help of ArcGIS software. If you are look at the attribute table, you can see other than state names, there are other fields. So you can choose any field to symbolize your data. So the symbolization what we did is discrete, which means there is no relation between one state and another state, which means this state name is different, this state name is different. So I assigned different assorted colors. But whereas if I am using a continuous field, say for example, instead of name I'm using a total population, I'm adding all the values and assigning. Yeah, of course, this is also like give you some a map, but it is not categorically correct because you assigned all values or distribution of population with unique numbers and colors. It's confusing and reader could not get any information from this map. Literally they confused. So what we can do here, if you have a distributional data like population, then you have to approach through a continuous symbolization. Say for example, here there is an option called quantities for continuous symbolization. So you can use quantities, use total population, and you can see all the population distribution categorized into 5 classes. You can increase the class also, say for example 6 class. Then if you apply, you will get distribution of population. This is somehow meaningful than what you did earlier. But still these values, class interval and distribution, it's not appealing good because many of the states clubbed together into single class and only one like a state clubbed with higher like values, and some of the values are very narrow, which means very minimal number of classes. So here you can like redesign or revise your class intervals. Okay. So in general, ArcGIS by default use natural breaks based on your data, but you only know better about what is your data, how it should be distributed. For which there are some statistics too to understand your data. Say for example, what is the like minimum value, maximum value, mean values, median values, and etc. Using these values, then you can able to like understand the data distribution. In addition, you have histogram, which is very helpful for fixing your or determining your class intervals. In practice or as a thumb rule, always you just use your mean values. Statistically, if you are going to divide the values into classes, then there should be equal representation of classes below the mean and above the mean, which means if you are having 6 classes, 3 classes at least are around, you have to divide the values below the mean, and 3 classes should distribute the values above the mean. Here I thought that many like states have a lower value, so I club all those into one categories. Say for example, these are all. Then other categories is about like somehow moderate population. Then one more sorry, so one more category, you can fix it. These are all one, these are all one, and these are all one. So I just gone through the histogram of the data, and I classified at least some reasonable classes with some reasonable classes. So now compared to the earlier, it looks somewhat good, but still this value is confusing me because population is integer, round number, but I have a 4 decimals or 5 decimals, so I want to change it. You just click on label, go to format labels, under number of decimal place put 0, so that only round numbers you will get it. But still I am not getting proper because these values are irregular. I want a rounded, so just again go to classification. Instead of 43 lakhs, you just make it 50 lakhs. Just type it, because if you are dragging, then you will not get a proper. But if you are entering your values, then automatically this line will identify its place and it will fix it. So second one is like 18 lakhs, sorry, 1 lakh, 1 crore 80 lakhs. So I made it to 2 crores. Then this one I am changing it to 4 crore. Then I'm making this one into 6 crore. Then 8 crore and more than 8 crore. So now you have almost what you desired, but I no need to show the lowest values. Rather, I can say that 50 lakhs or less than. So I can use a symbol less than 50 lakhs. and more than 8 crores. Now see, you have a proper class interval, it is very readable, anyone. Then you have a like a spatial distribution, almost justified the distribution, because all the classes have appropriate places, either it is a lower or higher. You could find at least 2 or 3 states fall under. Sometimes you distributed your values continuously. Accordingly, you have to visualize it or symbolize it, means then you can use your color ramp. Now this is also okay, it's a continuous only, looking a shade start with light and end with the dark. Light shows lower values and dark shows higher values. So based on your data values, system will identify appropriate somehow, but you can change it. Say for example, you are not happy with this color ramp, you should not choose like this. Say for example like this is not correct, because your data is continuous whereas your color is discrete, no relation between one color and other. So you have to choose colors appropriately. This is partially discrete and partially continuous, which means grouping of continuous. This is one set, this is another set, this is third set. So if you have three different groupings of continuous values, then you can apply this one. Whereas for this data, this kind of grouping is appropriate. Sometimes I'm not getting my grouping properly, so I'm not happy with this color ramp whatever they given, because I tried many combinations but still I'm not satisfied. I want different. Yeah, of course you can go with right click, just right click it on color ramp and click properties, and you can decide your own color. Say for example, I want to start with white and end with some this color, like so. This color also it's not good, I want to change some other color. Yeah, of course you can. Say for example, so like you can do trial and error. Yeah, I want somehow like less bright. Yeah. If you're happy with this combination, and you can fix it. So once you finalized your symbolization, then for keeping these symbols and values permanently, you just right click your data, go to save as layer file and save it. So this will permanently keep your symbols with the colors and values assigned by you. Even if you are removing and adding again the states directly, the state layer, you will not get the same colors, because you lost. Once you remove your data, your symbology will be lost. If I want to have the same symbols, there are two ways. One is you just go through your saved file, because already you saved as a layer file, you just open it will retain or it will recall your symbols. Other option is simply you just add the layer, then go to properties, then go to symbology and go to import, because there is, instead of assigning again the same color manually, you can import it whatever you set. From where we can import, that is already you saved as a layer file, which is available with you in your folder. You just go to open your symbology definition file and click complete symbology definition, because you assigned the symbols for India state map. Then it will ask for which field you are going to apply this symbology definition. Since the same like a field you are going to use it, just choose again the total population, then okay. See, the same values, whatever you entered and everything retained, so that you can retain your symbols and you can use it further and further. So through this demonstration we learned two things in detail. One is how to symbolize geographic data using discrete attributes and continuous attributes. Then second one, we discussed about how to create maps using custom attribute scales. In next video we are going to learn the remaining objectives. Thank you.